This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.
Hi, I'm CILETTI here with a look at your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. The crisis at the border has Governor Doug Ducey putting his thoughts for the country to see, teaming up with Texas Governor Greg Abbott for an opinion piece in the Washington Post. The piece says the president needs to take a trip to both states and calls the Border Patrol overwhelmed and says border apprehensions are at the highest levels in decades. Today, our community will say goodbye to the Buckeye fire chief who died from complications due to COVID. 62-year-old Bob Costello battled it for months. He died a week ago from cardiac arrest. We're told Chief Costello helped bring COVID testing to the city, even changing the role of the community paramedicine program so they could administer the testing to all firefighters, their spouses, and city employees. Chief Costello did the same with COVID vaccines, leading the operations, never putting his duty aside, even when he was sick.
Even from the hospital bed, infected with COVID, he was still worried about the citizens of Buckeye and the firefighters and the fire department getting vaccinated and getting taken care of.
Chief Costello also instrumental in laying the building blocks and foundation for the department during going from one fire station to now 6 full-time throughout the city. The funeral procession will begin at 9 o'clock from Thompson Funeral Chapel in Goodyear to Christ Church of the Valley in Peoria. The memorial service will then follow. Now to COVID-19 and the vaccine and the plans for the Johnson & Johnson single-dose shot. An independent panel for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention wants to wait before issuing new guidance on the vaccine. The panel met for several hours Wednesday before deciding more information is needed before they can move forward. The Wildcats have a new men's basketball coach. The University of Arizona hiring Tommy Lloyd. He's a longtime assistant in Gonzaga and was contractually guaranteed to take over at Gonzaga when the current coach either left for another job or retired. If you're behind on your electric bill, the utility will have two choices about exactly when you get disconnected. After nearly 2 years of debating, Arizona Corporation commissioners settled on options: no disconnections on days with temperatures above 95 degrees or none between June 1st and October 15th. Right now, utilities are operating under emergency rules that prevent cutoffs through that calendar the same time period. Those rules put into place 2 years ago after the death of a 72-year-old Valley woman whose electricity had been shut off on a 105-degree day back in 2018. The policy now goes to a formal rulemaking process where additional changes will likely be made. The policies would not go into effect until at least 2022. Want to plant a tree on Earth Day? It's a good idea. Lowe's might give you one. Yeah, the home improvement chain says it's going to distribute saplings on April 22nd while supplies last. You can register online starting today. The giveaway is part of the chain's Spring Fest. A staple here in Arizona closing its doors. SIBLEY'S, the Chandler and Arizona gift shop, will close in June. The shop in downtown Chandler sells local items like food, souvenirs, pottery, and a whole lot more. The owners say they're retiring and have lots of travel plans in the near future. Your vote is needed on this one. ADOT releasing its top 10 safety message board submissions, and you can pick the winner. Entries include no scrolling while rolling, think you're late, wait until you have a court date, and 85 is not the new 65, slow down. There are 7 more you can vote on until April the 21st.
Time now for that most accurate forecast. I'm meteorologist HERMOSILLO. The fire danger going back up today, especially across eastern Arizona, where we've got fire weather warnings in place, or red flag warnings, because of the strong winds in the forecast and the very low relative humidity expected for that area. Temperatures, though, a little cooler today, too. Look for a high of 83 in Phoenix, upper 60s to near 70 in Sedona, and in Kingman, we'll top out at 83 at Lake Havasu, with mid-50s today in Flagstaff. So it'll be cooler across the state, but again, windy in eastern Arizona and breezy here in the valley. The strongest winds across that eastern half of our state include the Mogollon Rim, areas like the White Mountains, and southeast Arizona, where gusts will be as strong as 40 to 50 miles an hour. For the valley, we're talking wind gusts near 20 to 25 miles an hour today. Then winds back off tomorrow. Temperatures get a little bit warmer Friday into Saturday into the mid to upper 80s, but we're going to stay in the 80s through the weekend. And then early next week, upper 80s by Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, the 90s are back as breezes kick back up again.
For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, go to ABC15.com or just download our free ABC15 mobile app.
This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.